Hi guys, welcome to Nine's Corner. I hope you're doing well, feeling well, and I'm coming to you from outside. I needed to be as close to the ground to get grounded. The information is coming fast, furious, and just like we said, it's going to be a time of illusion, delusion. One day you're going to hear one story and the next day it's going to be changed. Just like the autopsy. You know, the official autopsy came out and said, no, it wasn't asphyxiation. Now it's saying, yes, it is asphyxiation because they had another autopsy done. When I tell you that the truth is going to be hard to come by and it's going to be a time where we're going to have to really wade through it all, that's what's happening. So, even, when I said 2020, this whole year, and especially now coming up to the election, it's going to be a time where everything's coming out. I mean, we've seen Harvey Weinstein to Bill Cosby and everything in between just coming out fast and furious. And now it's like, I was like looking at the news, and Kylie Jenner has been called out as not being a billionaire. In actuality, she was changing her tax numbers. So it's going to be interesting to see what revelation for 2020 is Kylie going to have. I might even have a quick look at that just for fun. But I thought, you know what? The one thing that we don't see in the news very much for the last few days is anything about the coronavirus. So I thought we need to look into the coronavirus, how it's going to be affected by the protests, and before I even start, just to put us all into a good grounding space, our candle lit for each and every one of us. As you can see, the candle's going. It's not even hardly a breeze out here, and it's overcast, so it's not too sunny, so it's just the perfect weather to be out, So, and Spock's right here, but you just can't see him. Let me see if I can show you him. Say hi, Spock. Say hi. So, here we go. Let's have a look at the coronavirus, guys. And I hope everybody's doing well and being able to control their anxiety over everything that's been happening, because it's a lot. It's a lot. Oh, bless. Okay. First out of the gate is the Ten of Swords. So yes, the coronavirus is going to have some ill effect on the protests and the people that are protesting. I mean, it's good to see that a lot of people are wearing masks and trying to use their protective gear to the best of their ability. And let's face it, this subject matter is for a lot of people, and the people that are out protesting, the ones that are actually doing the proper protest, not the illusion, delusion, people that are dressing up like everything and dropping everything off like bricks and everything else. There's a lot of people that are inciting that, inciting it, that have nothing to do with the actual protests. So yes, you're going to see some spike in the numbers. You're going to see some people being ill affected. You've got to think, I heard on the news about this lady. She was working at, I believe, at some kind of bus station or train station, and somebody had spit on her, and she has passed away because she got COVID. So I really believe at this point in the COVID situation, although we don't know all the ins and outs of it or how it's all going to end up proceeding, but I do know that if you spit on somebody, then you should be held accountable, like, for their life, because that is just as bad as a gun at this point in time. So something to be looked at, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of stories coming out during this time of the protests. Now, the sun. For me, the sun kind of has a double meaning here, because we're looking at the sun, you're getting exposure. You're getting exposure to COVID. But the sun is also, when you have that expansion, you're putting light onto things. And I truly believe that, yes, you're going to see people getting hurt, not just from COVID, but just from being out there. It's going to be a lot more coming out about that. But I believe that because they're outdoors, because, they're in open spaces, that may help curtail some of the COVID. And to be honest with you, and I mean, we always talk about the fact that we're energy and we're vibration. When you have people that are out there and they're protesting from the heart, their vibration is not about illness. Their vibration is about creating a better world. And I think that when you change your physical vibration, that can help be a protectant. And please, if you are anybody, doesn't matter, but especially if you are somebody of color, take your vitamin D, take your vitamin C or a multivitamin or what have you, because they are saying that for people who have vitamin deficiencies, for people of color and people who are, you know, closed in and can't get out into the sun to get some vitamin D, that is really important for them to do this. And this is something that we can do to help. Now, the end result is the Queen of Wands. Now, this is a doer. This is somebody who's going to get things done. So I believe that, yes, you're going to see some pain and issues coming out of it, and coronavirus is going to make its way back into the news cycle, because we certainly haven't been seeing very much about that whatsoever. But I think that there's going to be somebody who's going to take command. This is going to be a woman, and there's going to be a female presence that's going to speak out and help this process along. There's going to be, I don't know if this is a female, actual female, or if it's a female energy of helping and being in command. So I almost feel like, yes, as the time goes by, we're going to be hearing more and more about therapies and where this is actually coming from to help. So, you know, for the people that are out there and, you know, sometimes, you know, when you have to look at, okay, is the coronavirus worse than a black man being murdered on television? You know, I think it's almost like the universe in its wisdom will help in protecting people, because there's a bigger fight happening here than just corona. It's bigger than just the protests. It's about people being equal. And that doesn't mean not seeing black, white, or the different shades, because we're all beautiful no matter what shade we are. But it's about standing up as a human race to be together. Because I remember when I lived in Ottawa, a girlfriend of mine and we were really excited. We were going to the Christmas party, and we went to this little store that had all this like costume jewelry, and we were in looking at the costume jewelry. And the next thing, like after about a few minutes after being in there, she comes up to me and she's like, "We need to leave." And I look up, I said, "Why?" And all of a sudden I realized on the left of us is a worker. On the right of us in the next aisle was another worker. And then in the same aisle as us, 3 or 4 feet down, was another worker. And like we were literally triangled. I've never experienced anything like it in my life. And I looked at the girl who was in the aisle with us, said, "Can I help you?" And I said, "Can I help any of you?" And I felt this tug on my arm to leave. And I was young when that happened. I was in my early 20s, and I had always known about it, but I'd never had any experience of it actually, like, wow, this actually happened. And I'm glad it happened when it did, because it opened my eyes that even though I don't think I'm racist, but things that I've grown up with that are acceptable are racist. And that's why people are going to the street to say no. You know, there's a beautiful rainbow of people out there of all different cultures and religions and everything else. And it's not a melting pot. It's about being an individual and living together. That's where we need to go. And so, you know, these protests are important. This is more than just, you know, this is more significant than what's ever happened into our past, because I think there's a majority of people out there that really and truly see past people's color, see past people's religion. There's, you know, generation coming up that don't have those same hang-ups. You know, generation after generation, we're learning a little bit more and we're taking it in, but the problem is that we've been generation after generation letting it continue, and it's time to say no, it's done. So I thought, in the spirit of doing the riots, let's have a look and see. I don't have to do a reading to know that there are people of many different factions that are coming in and causing a disturbance and trying to incite this fighting and police brutality, trying to push the police to do it. And it doesn't take a lot for some. But I thought, let's have a look, because I've had a lot of people ask me, you know, is there a China, is there a Russia connection? 100%. I feel it in my bones, because guarantee you there are bots on there that are inciting people to get more angry. This is what Russia and China know how to do. So let's have a look and see. And I mean, come on. Donald Trump, during this time of pandemic, during this time of riots, like, you know, literally burning down police stations, and he's trying to get trying to get Putin in the back door. What? You talk about delusion. So let's have a look at the riots, the protests. I was corrected by somebody saying don't call it riots, because the riot part is happening because of the bad players. The protest is what's important and we need to keep our focus on. So I thank you, and I am correcting myself. So when it comes to the riots, I forget my question, guys. What was I asking? Oh, right, about China and Putin. Are they involved? Oh my God. Seriously, first card up. 100% this is involvement, 100% there is a friendship, there's cooperation, and it's violent passion that brought these people together. 100%. The star can be of hope, and I do believe that here there is a hope. But the star is also about, you know, communications and, you know, expansion of things going out. I believe that this is an indication that China and Russia are using electronics, using Facebook and Twitter and whatever else is out there as a means to incite anger, incite violence. They are doing this behind the scenes. And they're getting help from Donald Trump, because Donald Trump wants Putin in the picture. Oh, 100% they are involved. They are willing to do whatever it takes to win at all costs. When I tell you that this is bigger than just what's happening inside of the United States, there are big players like Russia, China, Saudis, like, I mean, huge people with money that are just looking at this as their opportunity to let the U.S. implode on itself. That's why when you see the protesters out there, it makes you go, yes, yes, Donald Trump is not the representative of America. America has the ability, the will, and the know-how to pull up and to fight for what they know is right, So, yes, 100% China and Russia are having their involvement. Let's look at Donald Trump, because I was not surprised but disgusted that this fascist would wrap himself in the American flag and hold a Bible that looked like he did, he looked like it was something that he never knew. It's like, I'm wondering, is his hand burnt after this? And here he is, there's a peaceful protest going on, and he gets the military police to go out there with rubber bullets and throwing gas and everything else, so that he could walk across the street, not even give a message of hope, but so that he could hold up his lips like this and go with the Bible. It was like, what are you doing? And on top of it, he wants Russia to come into the G7, and he has all these plans that are going on, and Pompeo and them are supporting him. Yes, it's Antifa, it's Antifa. Guys, I'm sure that Antifa, probably like everything else, there's bad players in all parts, but believe me, when the crumbling comes down and we start seeing what's happening, this is the right, the crazy, the rightist right that are doing this, because they want to stick it to the left. And let's face it, Donald Trump you might be wondering, like, well, why would Donald Trump want to have this in these streets? Because Donald Trump is not the president of the United States. He's the dictator of the United States. And this is the perfect opportunity for him to take control. So let's have a look and see, what is Donald Trump doing? What is Donald Trump? What is his end game? What is his thoughts about what's happening? Does he, I mean, he's responsible, you know. When he got up there and his bully platform, and he was able to say, hey, you know, when they're getting in the car, don't worry about their heads. He allowed for the bad players to have a platform, to have a place to come and be able to get away in the light of day with what they've been doing underneath. So, like we said, 2020, the time of knowledge and knowing and learning. So let's have a look and see what's going on with Donald Trump. Okay. So we're not surprised that the moon would come up, that this is a time of illusion, delusion for Donald Trump. I mean, he is just there to, he's accepting, and he's gaslighting people, because he knows that if he can get things to go out of control, then he can take control militarily wise, that he can become the emperor that he wants. So this is definitely showing that this is, you know, he's doing this with ill regard, with disregard, truly. This is Donald Trump right now, and he is on the shadow side of the King of Wands. So we're looking at somebody who is unjust. We're looking at somebody who's jealous and pushing the negative side to get what he wants. It's like he's going to do whatever he can do to push his agenda of how he can continue. The fact is that usually the King of Wands is a passionate leader, somebody who has a lot of caring. He is the opposite. He's unyielding. He's prejudiced, and he causes quarrels. And this is who he is. This is the essence of who he is. So he's loving all this. The reality is, whatever he's going to get out of it is not worth the fight. He is going to be in a place of pain and a place of feeling just complete sadness. Everything that he has done, that he thinks that is for his betterment, is actually going to be causing sorrow. It's going to be causing him to feel the breath of what he has done. He's gone too far. He's gone too far, and it's going to continue to get worse. He's not finished yet. So, as I mentioned about the Kylie Jenner, I'd just like to have a look and see, will we see Kylie Jenner, and maybe through that they'll have a look at Kanye and Kim and Khloe and the whole Kardashian gang, and Mama Kris Jenner, Momager, is it? Let's have a look and see. Is Kylie Jenner going to get away with this, or are they going to call her out for falsifying her taxes? And let's face it, Donald Trump is a Kim Kardashian fan. Whoo, matters not. It is 2020. It is the time for illusion delusions. It might take a while, but she is going to be going down. You're going to be hearing about a number of things that she has done that's not above board. This is going to really hurt her reputation. She is going to need to get legal representation. This is going to go into the courts. Wow. She's a star. So I think she'll be able to pay her way out of it, but it's going to come to pass. It's going to come out. Isn't that interesting? And then I was watching about Leah Michelle, you know, the one that was on Glee. And here I was just like, I didn't watch Glee. It wasn't my show. But I knew about her because she dated the guy from Canada. And all of her co-stars of color are coming out saying how poorly that she treated them and stuff. And I thought, well, there you go, guys. When I said about illusion delusion and nobody's going to get away with anything, yep. Because years ago, they would have just been hush-hush because it would have been all about the money. But now it's like Everybody's just putting down the gauntlet and saying, no, no more. Like, we're done. Yep. I know that this might seem really overwhelming, and I know that this is really, really heavy, because believe me, I have had my panic attacks, I've had my just overwhelming sadness, but I have said all along, and I truly believe it, and the cards say it, that we are coming into a time of destiny, and we all chose to be here to come through this time and to be together. And whatever hardships we're going to deal with right now, they are going to be for the betterment of everybody. Like, it's going to bring us into the time of Aquarius. When the moon... Seriously, we are going to have some, unlike the past where they, had these things and then, it goes away after a little while. This is going to be a time when you're actually going to see things being done. And it's really important for the Americans who are able to vote to keep whoever feet in the fire to make sure that you get what the people need. So, we need to push for the equalization of humans. Healthcare should not be a privilege. It should be something you're born with. So there's a lot more to come. So wishing you light for your darkness. Thank you so much for spending time with me. Please feel free to like, subscribe, and share. And be careful. All right? We'll talk soon. Take care.